Hello everyone, what's up? It's Zachary back again with another video, and I'm here with Ariel.
Hey guys! What's up?
And as you can tell by the title, today we're going to be making her a dress for her 21st birthday, which is coming up in about a little more than a week.
Yeah.
Ariel found a few different inspiration pictures to go based off of, and this is like the main one. Flashed up on the screen. Do you know what the brand is called?
Yeah, it's FanciClub.
Okay.
That's their Instagram and website.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of go based on that, make it a little bit different. Yeah, just make it ourselves, just save a little bit of money, and yeah. So yeah, the plan is. Oh wait, well, do you want to show them the material you got?
Yes. So I got this material from Etsy. Very like cute and iridescent, and it's like very see-through.
No, not really. You can barely.
No,
see
you can't see Zach's hand right now.
No.
No. So we're definitely gonna have to like layer, but yeah, I'm very excited. This is it. I paid like $30, which will be a lot cheaper than buying one of the dresses from the original people, which is like $200+. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So.
Love them, but we can't afford. So.
Yes.
So yeah, and I'm gonna flash the little sketch that we did up on the board. So. Some of the stuff is the same, like most of the silhouette's the same, except we're adding a strap going across the back right about the chest level, and keeping kind of one that's at like the hip level or like the waist level. And then I'll make a little X in the back with a little ring. And then the one at the top is staying the same. I think we're going to bring up the back, like the skirt part just a tiny bit, and then lengthen it a little bit just so she's able to dance and everything. And yeah, and then for the front part and the back skirt part, we're going to do 3 layers of the fabric, at least as of right now. We'll see if we need any more. And then for the sleeves, we're going to just do 1 layer so that they're extra sheer and cute. And yeah, that's the plan. So we're going to start by, Ariel brought this dress that is somewhat of a similar fit to what she wants. Obviously not the exact same shape or anything, but it's a good starting point. So I've got some paper laid out, and we're going to start by tracing this dress out, and then we'll alter it kind of to make it the shape of what we're trying to go for. I'll just trace the outside first. Alright, we got that main shape of the front traced out, and then I'll go back and do back as well. Back's basically just the front with a little curve taken out, and then obviously it doesn't include the top part. And then I'll probably find like the center point and just go based on the half and then cut it on a fold just so that's perfectly symmetrical. We don't have to get the 2 sides to be of the pattern to be perfectly matched. So since I have this other half that we're not going to be using for this, I'm going to use that as a skirt.
Oh, for just the back part. Yeah.
So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pattern pieces, and then we've got some just random fabric that I bought forever ago that I haven't used for anything. That's just like a stretch, but we'll use this to make a little mock-up because I don't want to waste any of the nice fabric. Alright, we've got the front piece, draft, and the back skirt piece. I'm not sure if you could even see my outlines from the camera, but those are the pieces that we've got so far, and they're both going to be cut on a fold for the final fabric, but I had cut up this white fabric for a different thing that I didn't end up doing, so they're gonna both have like a front seam and a back seam as well as the side seams just for the mock-up. But we're gonna go ahead, cut out pieces. I'm gonna add a little bit to the center front and center back just because we'll have that sewing line, so we need some seam allowance there to account for the fit of putting 2 pieces together like that. So I got the front piece all cut out, the pieces I should say. And I'll do the same thing with the skirt, and then we will see you over at the sewing machine. So it's actually the next day. We didn't really do anything else yesterday, but we're back. Ariel's over there, and I started on the sleeve now as well because I'm going to do the whole sample all at once. So I took a sleeve block that I had made a couple years ago in a class that I took, and kind of made it a little bit slimmer for what we want for the sleeve. It'll probably still be a bit loose, and we'll just kind of have to adjust it based on that. This is the pattern piece here. It's like a normal sleeve block, and then cut out only one of the sleeves for the sample just because we don't need to make both for the fitting part. I'm going to pretty much be doing everything on the serger for this part. I put together the two halves of the front and back piece and I've got it pinned. So I'm going to be sewing up the side seams with the serger machine. And then separately, I'm going to be sewing up the seam of the sleeve. So it'll basically, this is like the piece upside down. It'll just be those two pieces sewn up the side. I'm not going to be attaching the sleeve yet because I just want to get the fit right first before we go about attaching it and stuff. Alright, I just got done sewing up the dress part and the sleeve, and now we'll go try it on. I'm going to have her try on everything inside out so we can kind of mark the adjustments on the seams. I'm going to be using just like ribbon for the straps, just like safety pinned on, because I'm not going to make straps out of this material. It's not worth it right now, so yeah. This is the first sample. It actually fits quite well, especially like the dress part. As you can see, I kind of pinned the sleeve we're going to be taking in, so it is going to be taken in like 2 inches on each side. So yeah. Taken in quite a lot, but it'll be nice and fitted now. We added like the little ring part back here, and the straps will obviously be matching the fabric on the final one. We're just going to have to take in the pattern a little bit of the skirt, and then we'll be just like widening this whole part out, having this curve under to like the armhole seam and down, just so it doesn't come forward at all. Alright, so I edited the pieces for the second round. I just pretty much brought in this curve a tiny bit on the skirt, probably about like a ½ inch or so. And the dress piece I changed quite a bit at the top. I added like a little sleeve part for attaching the sleeve and going under the arm slightly, and then just brought this part out slightly, and then brought the whole thing up on the neck, lengthened that a little bit. And then the sleeve I brought in quite a bit and added a little swoop going out at the end for the hand. And yeah, now I'm going to cut these all out in the sample fabric again and assemble them with my serger, and then I'll see you for fitting part 2. Definitely a lot better. The sides are like more covered. Probably will add just like a slight bit more, especially for like seam allowance for finishing these edges on the side. Yeah, so I'll probably just extend it a little bit more and then some more seam allowance just so that you can finish the sides. Skirt fits better. Yeah. Little ring still looks good. And we actually attached the sleeve this time. And the sleeve fits much better. I'm going to take a little bit of this like curved part out at the bottom just so it's more just like fitted. And then at the top here, I think I'm going to bring this up a little bit up here. So it's like fully to like the collarbone. And then I'm going to kind of change the shape so it's going to be like more of like a swoop up onto the shoulder, I think. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this in so that it's more flat across the chest area. Yeah. Okay, so I actually was looking at the reference dress that we're going off of, and the way they did it when I was trying to change the neckline a little bit, and I was checking how they did it, and they, I can kind of put a picture in too, but they added like a little piece that goes over the shoulder and back underneath, and then that's where the shoulder's attached onto, so I kind of added that to this pattern piece, and that'll attach here, make a little armhole, and then the sleeve will attach to there, which will make it a little bit more structurally sound. Alright, it's the next day. I was looking a little bit more closely at the reference dress, and I realized we were kind of doing it a little wrong compared to how they were doing it. Not wrong, but just different, but I think the way that they were doing it is a little bit better. So basically what I did is, I'll show the picture of what I'm referencing, but how we added a little piece going over the like shoulder that connect the sleeve to. That's basically just going to continue down and connect to the skirt at the bottom. So this is the new pattern piece for the back. So it has like the open back fully. This part goes under the arm. This was like cut off from the front piece that had the really long part on it. And this is the new front part. I also extended this to make it a little bit more straight across the neck. And the sleeve, I just took a little bit off of like the little swoop that comes out at the end, just because so it's not quite so dramatic. Hi! So it's a couple days later. I decided to make another sample because I got scared that the pattern wasn't quite right. So this is the sample. I made it out of some fabric that I thrifted, but this is just going to be a second dress because I love the fabric. It's so cute. Looks good. I got the ties going on in the back. They're not fully attached yet. They're just clipped on, but it fits pretty well. The only thing I'm going to change is like this part's a little loose just on like the back piece right here, which it works fine for this one since it's a little bit more flowy on like the material, but for the final one we're going to fix that. Yeah, the front piece fits perfect and the sleeves are perfect as well. And yeah, so that's the final thing. I'm just going to edit the back piece a little bit by bringing in like those back pieces slightly. Alright, here is the back pattern. The left side is before and the right side is after. I just did a little like slash and spread method to bring in the back and then kind of like cut out the side a little bit. But so this side is the correct one, so it'll be a little less loose at the back. And yeah, I was able to keep like the length of the side as well. So yep, now I'm gonna go cut out all the pieces. We've got the 3 layers for the front, or the back and the front, all serged. So now they're each one piece with 3 layers, and then the 2 sleeve pieces are still the single layer. So now I'm gonna be working on attaching the front and the back and sewing up the sleeves as well. And I'm gonna attach these just using the regular sewing machine since they already have the edges finished, so. Alright, so I'm gonna start doing the sleeve. I'm gonna try serging this bottom edge first, like the cuff part. Hopefully it will work since it's so thin, but we'll see. Alright, it actually did work surprisingly. That's the cuff. I'm gonna do around like the sleeve cap part that goes attached so that way I can sew everything else up with just the regular sewing machine. Now I'm gonna put the 2 little sides together and sew it up to make it a little tube. Okay, so it's a couple days later now. There have been many developments in the dress. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago I had sewn like the body part together, the front and the back, and we went to try it on and did not fit at all. Well, the top part fit perfectly, but sewing the 3 layers together how we did for each side made it so that the material was basically not stretchy at all anymore. So it went from being super stretchy to not at all. So I'll grab it to show you what we had to do. So we ended up having to add this little panel in the back here. So now it fits much, much better, and we can show it once we do the final try on as well. And then I've kind of marked here where we're going to have straps coming in as well as on the shoulder seams. And I'll kind of show you my concept for the straps as well. And we've got the 1 sleeve attached already, looking quite great. We actually had to adjust the pattern for that a little bit too because it was just a little too tight. And yeah, so I've got the other sleeve ready. I just have to put it in, and I'll kind of show you that as well. Just because I've been slacking on recording the sewing process of the final one. So yeah, basically all I did to sew this up, it's back right side out now, but just sewed up the 2 side seams and shoulder seams, and then for the sleeve I'll show you how I did that as well. Okay, so I've got the strap laid out. So we're still going with the little X shape and the one across the top, but now it's going to have a little like across the back. I was just figuring out how we could do it so it would be able to be taken on and off and be adjustable. So this point, this like little V is going to be secured there. This one's also secured here. This one has a little loop, and then this piece goes all the way up and ties right here to this piece that loops through here and connects here. So it's like more adjustable and can be easily taken on and off without ripping anything. So yep, and then we'll just have a little tie right here. So I still have to sew that on in those 6 points. I think we'll also add some elastic around the bottom hem, just so it doesn't ride up too much when we're shaking our groove things. Alright, I have the straps all attached now, and I'm going to show how I'm attaching the sleeve, since I didn't show that for the last one. So right now I have this part of the dress inside out and the sleeve right side out, and then I've put, it's so hard to show this because of the fabric, basically like the sleeve's like inside the dress. It's kind of hard to show because it's an open back dress, but This is like the cap of the sleeve that goes right into that little hole. And I'm matching up the seam of the sleeve with the side seam of the dress here. And then I'm basically going to go around and clip all the way around, evenly distributing that fabric, and then I'll go ahead and sew it. Here we go, we got it all clipped around, so I'm going to start probably down by the side seam and just go all the way around. Just right on that, pretty much right on the edge, right on the serge parts with a zigzag stitch. All set, and we're going to do the final little fitting now. So yeah.
Oh, like, where's my drum roll? Like, Get the bag. The bag's like kind of the main piece, obviously. I was just telling Zach, it's not too tight. I have some room for bloating from like all the drinks I'm gonna be having.
Yeah. And we didn't even have to actually add the elastic because she did a little dance test and it doesn't ride up at all.
Dance test. And I love the color. Like, I was a little like bummed out because at first I'd ordered like a green and gold mesh fabric, like this fabric, but in that different color, but they didn't have it, even though they told me they did. That's okay. But then I settled for this one, but now I'm like,
Yeah,
this was the one. Like,
yeah.
this is so cute. Yep.
Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something.
Hit up Zach if you want him to make your b-day dress.
Yeah.
I paid him like $6,000,
Yeah,
like something
my rate
light.
starts at like 10,000. I gave her the discount.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
All right, get out of here.
Bye.
You want to smack them? That's my new thing.
Can we smack them together?
3,
Get out
2.
of here.